Hi there, it's Dr. Melanie McNally with Destination U, and today I am going to talk about dealing with anxiety that is specifically related to COVID for those of you who are going back to school in the fall. So first of all, I feel for you. This is a really tough situation that students and teachers are in, and anxiety is really high for a lot of people. So I want you to know that I feel for you. This is not an easy situation by any stretch of the imagination for anybody involved. But I do want to give you some tools to help you manage any anxiety that you might be feeling. So the first thing that you can do if you notice that you're feeling really anxious about going back to school is to get as much detail as possible about what your school or your district is doing. So whether it's elementary school all the way up to college, get as much detail as you possibly can about how they're handling classroom instruction, how they're handling social distancing, wearing masks, how are they going to handle like the cafeteria and more crowded spaces like the buses. Get as much detail as you can. Attend any online virtual kind of webinars or meetings that your district or your college holds where they're going to be sharing that information. Take notes, write down questions as they pop up, whether it's during the webinar or in the middle of the night. Write down your question so that you're able to get an answer later on at some point. So that's the first thing. Get as much detail as possible. The second thing that we can do to manage our anxiety is to come up with a worry plan. So write down all of the things that are making you really anxious about going back to school. Are you anxious about transitioning from class to class if you're in middle or high school? Are you anxious about living in a dorm if you're in college? Are you anxious about recess if you're in elementary school? Write down specifically the things that are making you anxious. Once you know what they are, plan out how you're going to deal with each of those situations. So if you are anxious about the transition period in between classes and you already know how your school is handling it, maybe they're staggering it so not as many kids are in the hallway at the same time, plan out what you specifically will do when you transition in between classes to keep yourself safe. Plan out that you're going to keep yourself 6 feet apart. If anybody kind of runs up to you and gets close, you're just going to kind of put out your arm and be like, hey, hold up, don't get too close to me. You're going to wear your mask, but plan out specifically what you'll do, because what that does is it helps us remember that we actually have more control over the situation than we may feel or think that we did. So coming up with a worry plan. And then the third thing that we can do to manage our anxiety is to practice using anxiety management tools. So some of the best tools that are available to manage our own anxiety are deep breathing exercises. And I've talked about this before, but when we inhale through our nose, we exhale through our mouth. We want to make the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. So that's just the most important thing to remember. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Exhale just a second or two longer than the inhale. The other thing we can do is our mantra. So saying something over and over again. I'm safe, I'm healthy. I'm safe, I'm healthy. And then finally, what we can do to manage our anxiety is to focus on what is true right now instead of what we're afraid of happening. So whenever you catch yourself feeling anxious about getting COVID or bringing COVID home and making a parent sick or whatever it is that you might be feeling anxious about, remind yourself, right now, I'm healthy, my family is healthy. And so you're getting your attention and your awareness back on the present moment and away from or out of those future what ifs that may never even occur. All right, I hope this video is helpful. I hope these tools are helpful for you. If you notice that your anxiety is getting really significant, you're having trouble sleeping at night, you are chronically anxious and irritable, changes in appetite, maybe some GI distress, like stomach aches, if you are just thinking about COVID constantly, you're doing a lot of like hand washing, feeling, like a little paranoid about like a sore throat or a rising temperature, you notice that you're more germ phobic than usual, then it sounds like your anxiety is pretty significant right now and you may need to get some additional help. You can always contact me either through connect@destinationu.net, or you can go to my website, which is destinationu.net, or you can go to psychologytoday.org to find a local therapist to get some additional support. All right, take care.